everyone, this is Caitlin with Kait's Collectibles, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Sailor Jupiter Figuart. So the Jupiter Figuart, from what I recall anyway, actually came out after the one they released for Sailor Saturn. So it didn't follow the order of the inners the way they showed up, Moon, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter. They ended up releasing her after Saturn. So I finally got a hold of this figure for a pretty good price. I found with these that as long as if you're trying to collect after the fact, you have to be pretty patient to find a good price for them. They haven't done a second run yet of the Jupiter figure, so this is a first edition. I've got her out of the box here on her stand already, but as you can see, I like that the box is following the same theme. The green is pretty predominant in this box since that's her primary color. They've got sort of this rosy pinkish purple color, which kind of complements her bow, her rose earrings, that sort of thing. We've got the warning here. I purchased this figure through Amazon, so we've got the English warning sticker. And down in the bottom corner of the box here, we'll see the official licensed product sticker. So you can see I can catch it with my fingernail, so you know it's not just printed on the box here. So this is an official figure. And we've got the logos for Tamashii Nations and Bandai. Again, with a lot of the reproduction figures, the Chinese bootleg versions, some of them won't have these symbols. They won't have the sticker, or they will have these symbols, but the sticker will be printed on the cardboard. It's not an actual sticker, so that's a good sign that it's not an official product. So looking at the sides here, we can see a nice image of Jupiter doing what I assume is her sparkling wide pressure attack. And the usual text at the bottom there about her. I'll switch to the other side. It's a nice kind of stoic image of her looking like she's ready to fight, ready to take on the Negaverse, the Dark Kingdom, depending on which version you prefer. The top is just a quick shot of her looking all happy, and the same text there, and then they've got a little image of her, the silhouette that kind of follows everybody else's. And the back of her box is pretty nice. They've got her in multiple poses here, just showing off some of the moves that she can have, as well as some of the different face plates, and the usual warnings at the bottom as well. So before I go over the Jupiter figure, I'm going to show off some of the accessories that came with her. So she does have the usual, I won't spend too long on this, but the usual Figuart paper that shows the different ways to attach the different faces, how the bangs come off. There's more than one set. It shows using the arm and the base plate, as well as lists all the hands that she comes with. So pretty standard fare for what these figures include with them. Hers, the stand was originally packaged in behind her, like a lot of the early ones. And her plastic cover sits really snugly. It has a very satisfying crackle when you open it. So she has the extra set of bangs that have her antenna on them. And I like that they've got her little hair bits attached to the bangs themselves. Makes it a little bit easier in terms of if they had been attached to the figure's head itself, it would have made it really hard to get them on and off. We've also got the different faces here. So we have her attacking face up top, happy face, and a serious face. And she's got sort of just a regular smiling one on now. Lots of different hand plates here. One I wanted to point out was the bottom here. She's got that like tiger claw hand that she uses when she's gonna like fist fight I like that they included that a lot. So same packaging as they did for the other early figures for these. Now the figure herself, I'm really quite happy with. Jupiter was one of the characters I really enjoyed from the original run of the show. Moon has always been my favorite, but Jupiter and Mars were pretty well tied for my next favorite inners. So this is the happy face that she's got there, just the regular smile. Really nice pearlescent green paint on the center of her bow. There's a little bit of shimmer. It's very hard to see on the paint that they used on her fuku for the skirt and the collar, and I guess for the rest of the green. The boots look really good, articulated at the ankles. I still kind of wish they'd articulated everybody's toes, but I guess I'll get over that. Really nice, crisp, clean paint lines for the most part on her. However, there are a few areas when I was looking at her up close that were maybe a little bit on the sloppy side. You can see they've got the teal baubles for her hair there. Again, nice lines for the gloves. Sort of this crossover panel right there for the two parts. The edge of her boot is maybe just a tiny bit sloppy with the paint, but it's pretty subtle. Only someone like me that's going to nitpick is going to notice that. You'll see that the base plate there has her symbol, Sailor Jupiter, the little fleurs, the little stars, kind of the usual thing that you see on these. And the same kind of an arm holding her up with that same claw. I'm going to slide her head back a little bit so you can see in behind her collar and her choker there. And down here you'll see at this ankle, like that's a little bit more of that sloppier paint I was talking about. It's just not a really crisp, clean line like some of the other paint has been. Similarly, I noticed right there in her elbow joint, I don't know whether this is the paint rubbing or whether it's it came off, but there's that little dot of green in her elbow. So again, minor imperfections, but those are things of note for someone like myself. So one of the things I wanted to do with Jupiter was just to kind of show the transfer of pieces. I like to use all of my figures in a similar setup, so like everybody's attacking or everybody's, you know, posing like it is after their transformation. So right now I've kind of had everybody in a bit of a attack mode. So with Jupiter, the bangs are the piece that comes off like most of the others. They're quite a large piece with those tail bits. So I find with hers I just had to wiggle it off. It comes off pretty smoothly. And then you'll see the face is the same sort of setup as the others. You get a really clear view of the little baubles there. Her rose earrings are attached, of course. The face is not too snug, but snug enough that it feels good and secure. You can firmly press a new face in, and then the new bangs. I really like that they did the one with the antenna. And even her hair is articulated, so you know, you can make it look like the wind's blowing. The pose I had her in was basically her gearing up to do her thunder attack. So I'll zoom out there. There we go, you can see she's all set up there, like she's attacking. So I really like the Jupiter figure. I find that she's one of those figures that if you're collecting them all, obviously you want to have her in your collection. She's a little bit different because she has that antenna. with her tiara as one of her sort of signature items or looks. So it gives her something a little bit special. I think they did a really nice job with the figure. Mine in particular has a couple of sloppy paint spots, but I think that's pretty true of any figure with runs like these. If Jupiter is your favorite character, or you're just collecting the Figuarts line, or perhaps just the inners, I definitely recommend having this one in your collection. She has quite a variety of hands, especially with having that like tiger claw hand, having the hair be articulated the way it is, that you can spin it completely around. That's a little bit different from obviously like the way Mars or Venus have had their hair. I like that there's so much variety that you can pose this figure with. So I really recommend Jupiter, although I'm a little biased since I'm a brunette as well. I always had a little bit of an affinity for her. But if Jupiter isn't your favorite figure from this line, let me know who is. Of course, make sure to comment, like, share. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to see video updates like these. And you can remember that you can find me on Twitter at Kait Collectible. Thanks very much for watching.